I came from Ecuador when I was 23 years old. I came with a bag of dreams because I only have $50 in my pocket.
Welcome to Lion Killer Podcast, where I interview the fascinating people that helped make my first feature film. I am the writer and director of the feature film, Lion Killer. And today on the show, I have the wonderful, the fascinating, the talented Miss Rianne Rivadeneira. I always have a hard time saying that. Rivadeneira, not
Yes.
Rivadeneira, Rivadeneira.
No, you said it right. It's Rianne Rivadeneira.
Rianne Rivadeneira.
And it would be Rianne Rivadeneira.
There you go. And for everybody out there, Rianne has been busy. Not only did she co-star in my film, Lion Killer, she recently was in a short film that was released on YouTube entitled Cupid 19.
Exactly.
And she is currently in the Maxim Cover Girl Contest 2020. And we'll get into it a little bit about that. But first, how you been, Rianne?
Well, I'm doing great. Well, trying to get back to normal, if you can call it normal, and excited about a lot of things because seems like this pandemic helped a lot of people, the creative people, and I'm one of them that, have been trying to think a lot of things and ways to work and the things that I love, which is acting and modeling. So I'm super excited about what's coming.
So what do you have in the works right now? Or tell us a little bit about Cupid 19 and
Well, actually, that was filmed in a few days during this lockdown, and everybody was in their house. So we did it via Zoom, just like we're doing it right now. And I like the story because at the end is very, I'm not gonna say it, but it's about what it would be if this pandemic or coronavirus was like 2 more years or something like that, and you were locked down for quarantine for about 2 years. So it's very interesting.
What about the Maxim Cover Girl Contest? Tell us about that.
So for the Maxim Cover Girl Contest, I saw an ad that they were looking for a cover girl for 2020. They do it every now and then. And so I decided to apply. I just, thought maybe I can be one of them. And I was born in Ecuador, so that'll be amazing to be the first Ecuadorian being featured in a cover of a Maxim magazine with one of the best photographers. So I'm very excited about it. I'm super, super excited. That, and then, well, right now, it says that I'm number 3 right now. I don't know.
Let's keep it going. Vote for Rianne. All right. So let's go back and tell us about how, so you were born in Ecuador, how you came to the States, and how you got involved in acting.
Well, this is very nice. I came from Ecuador when I was 23 years old. I came with a bag of dreams because I only have $50 in my pocket.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah, I saved a lot of money for my ticket, and at the time in Ecuador, they turned the money. We went from sucres, which was our currency, to dollars, US dollars. So to save then it was very hard. So I will only save was able to save for my ticket. One of my best friends, her name is Priscilla, and I know she's listening, and thank you so much. She helped me. I started working as an ice cream truck. I used to sell ice cream. And so
you were an ice cream man?
I was the yeah. I was selling ice cream in factories. Yes.
Oh, so it wasn't, you weren't like on a truck. You weren't like on the truck doing ice cream?
No, I was in a truck.
Okay.
We would stop at a factory and business and just turn on the music for one at their break time, and then they will come out, buy the ice cream and go. And actually most of the people that I would say were adults, so because I was going to businesses and I would sell at an auction too, an auto auction. It's super hot, 1,000 people there selling all my ice cream right there.
But it was a hustle, right? It was a hustle to.
yeah, I made good money, and I bought my first ice cream truck. And somebody else also helped me. The first person, his name is Eli Mama. He helped me. He helps a lot of people. He's a good person. He helped me, and I bought my first truck. He rented out the first truck for me. Then my friend Priscilla, she showed me the business because she was doing that at the time. Then I bought my own truck. Then I bought another truck and I rented it out. So I had my business going on.
Wow.
And I was it was very cool. Then I got married, and then I just.
Because that's interesting to me. So how long were you in the United States when you had 2 trucks running?
So I came in 2000, and I was about 2002.
So 2 years from landing in the United States, $50 in your pocket, to being a business owner with not 1 truck but 2 trucks. That's fascinating. That's awesome. And then and so then you got married and you left that business. Is that what happened?
Yes. And now I'm divorced, but and now I'm more into acting than I was before.
Was it always your dream to come to the U.S. and be an actress?
Actually, well, I was in Ecuador. I've been acting since I was 5, and I was doing speeches at age 9 because I had good memorization skills. So I was always called for speeches, and my biggest audience was about 1,000 people. I guess I was 9. That was awesome. And then always been acting in school. And then I was in the hostess of a TV show there in Ecuador as well. And then I came to the United States, and I was not planning on staying, but I had my family in Chicago. I stayed because I love this country and has more opportunities. And so I started looking for auditions, and at the time there was no social media, so you have to do
I know,
just Google and not Craigslist, because those were weird. So I was trying to it was hard to find auditions online. So I finally found one, and it was Joe Grisafi,
local filmmaker here in Houston. Yeah, good guy.
And then I got my agency. Now I'm represented by Pastorini Busby. And but anyway, so I started acting like more into commercial acting at first. I was with A+ actors at the time, and I was doing lots of commercials, playing a Hispanic mom mostly. But then I decided to pursue film. So I went to take acting classes with Dick Anderson, Next Level Acting. This is great. And then I went to, for film, that was my goal. I decided to pursue film because I was doing mostly commercial. And the great thing about acting is that acting never ages. So it doesn't matter how old or young you are, there's always a role for you.
Yeah.
So that's the amazing part of it. Even if you're like literally very, very, very old, there will be a role for you. So it's never late to start again or to start something new in acting. So this is when I started. And
that's a great attitude to have. That's a great attitude to have, that, hey, I can do this for the rest of my life, So, I think perspective really helps in terms of success. If you've got a positive perspective on it, that can only, lead to good things, good and positive things. So all through that. And then how did you first get wind of the Lion Killer auditions?
So I was looking for auditions, and I think I saw on one of the emails that I received that there was an audition for Lion Killer. So I decided to apply. That was my first film that I applied that I was super excited about. I applied for another role that different than the one I was hired. I was super excited because I saw that it touched domestic violence in it. And for me, that it's something that touches in my heart, because my mother was a victim of domestic violence. So being part of this film was very important for me. So when I went to the audition, I was asked to do a monologue. I wrote a monologue based on my mom's story. It was very, very touching for me. It was very intense. And then, but I was selected for another role, which, correct me if I'm wrong, that was supposed to be for an older woman.
It's so much stuff happened, but let me go back just a little bit to give people some perspective. So yeah, we did do the auditions, and for the certain role, I believe you auditioned for, it was the role of Mrs. Lemaster.
No, I auditioned for Janet.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So that's the landlord.
But yeah, the landlord.
Go ahead.
But when we were at the table reading, and he was and then an older lady. Well, well, I'm not so old. It was changed. It was, then the description was an older lady.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's one of the things that when you're making like an independent film, like, so it's kind of like putting a puzzle together, because although you would have been great for that part, once Matt was cast, you and Matt, I don't think there's that much difference in age, at least the looks of it. And Matt is, of course, significantly younger than me, and he is younger than you to some degree. But you guys look like you could probably end up being a couple. You know what I mean? And I needed someone, who looked like more like who was his senior in some way. And so, but you had done such a great job in the audition process that I knew I wanted to work with you.
I'm your age, by the way.
What, my age?
I'm your age.
I'm a young
guy. I was born in the same year as you were born.
Oh, how do you know what year I was born is what I want to know.
Because you told me that.
Oh, okay. I told you. I think I did. Okay. On set. So I'll wipe all that from the internet.
No, on set.
But yeah. So, so a lot of it's putting together like a puzzle, in that once Regina's cast, that affects who is going to be cast as Michael. Once Michael's cast, that affects who's going to be cast, as his landlord, as Mrs. Lemaster, as all these people. But you gave such a strong performance, and I did ask the actresses to, I believe we had sides, but I also wanted to see sides and bring a monologue. Now, you didn't have to create your own monologue, but you did, which was really a powerful monologue. But I wanted to see some range. And you came and you did a great audition. I knew I wanted to work with you.
Thank you. That was awesome. When you told me that, for me,
I remember my head was inside the toilet and he was pulling my head up and down, and then I passed out again, and then I woke up on the floor, covered of water and blood, and I saw him leaving with my baby. I could ask for help, and that's why I'm here.
First of all, because it was my first feature film with credits on IMDb, and then because it talked about, creates awareness about domestic violence. So that was very, very, very important and great. So when you told me that I was selected for that, I was super excited.
Now, so walk us through your experience of coming in for the audition. What was that like?
I really enjoyed it because at first, no, I'm normally nervous. Everybody's nervous, I think, whenever you're. And so I was worried that, oh my God, what am I going to do here? Hopefully, I was on my head a little bit. But then you made me actually cool down. You're very good. Especially when you told me, how do you think you did at the first one? You made me try another one because I knew I could do better. So once I was warmed up, I could, deliver better. Because sometimes at first I'm a little nervous and it gets in my head. But once I warm up, like I said, if I do another try, I like when your casting directors ask you for a practice before. Yeah,
and that's a good thing about doing a lower budget indie is I actually wanted to spend a little time with the people that came through. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your talents. Often on, say, a big studio film, a lot of actors will tell you, you go in, get one shot at it, and you're gone.
Yeah.
That's because they're just seeing so many people for that role. And, we're a smaller budget smaller in scale film. And so we were able to sit down and get to know people. Because one thing, and I've talked about this on other episodes of this podcast, that when we're on set with each other, we might be there all day. I want to make sure that everyone's also easy to get along with, has a good personality, good sense of humor. So I was reading not only people's ability, but people's personality and behaviors and quirks. And trust me, there were people that came in, there were fine actors, but I just knew they wouldn't be right on this kind of set where there's not really a lot of amenities. You can't go hide in a trailer if you get upset.
Yeah, you cannot be with divas, of course.
Yeah, it's just like, hey, let's just all have fun. This is, we're all pretty much doing this for the love of it, and hopefully making something great. And you came in, you had a great personality, and killed the audition. So keep going. What else was your experience?
So that was great, like I said. But now with COVID-19, now everything is self-tape, which is even better. That's amazing. That's great. But I guess you don't get to feel the same. Like you said, a lot of people look for that too. But that's why I think they ask you to now record a little bit and telling about yourself, something about you, so they can kind of get your personality out of it, I think. But that, like I said, you were easy to you made me relax during that audition. So everybody was very nice too. It was very, very relaxed, actually. I was very, because I think I did first my monologue, and that was very intense. So I was like, at first. and then of course the other one. So I left happy. I left really happy.
What was your experience like on set once we actually started filming Lion Killer?
So whenever I am dressed up for the thing, for the role, I started to get into my character, so it's very natural. So I got into my group leader role, kind of like a psychologist role.
Counselor, yeah.
Counselor, yes. So you gave me the gadget, which was this board, and that was it. That was all I needed. So I got.
That's right. Props on a Derek Fury set. Here's your clipboard. Build a whole character around it.
So I started reading people and writing their, whatever I was reading about, because my role was very small, but I believe that whenever you're given a small role, you have to make it bigger. So it doesn't matter how small, even if it's 1 second, that 1 second can change everything, So you have to do something good. So I said I have to be.
The character Noelle, played by Regina Ting Chen, is part of a group for survivors of domestic abuse, and you were the counselor, the group leader. Typically, how would you go about finding your character, getting into the role?
So first, I read the monologue, the dialogue, or the sites, try to see hints of, or read the description too, because that's very important. It tells you a little bit of a backstory. Sometimes they don't tell you anything, so you have to come up with something. So depending on the situation, in this case, I kind of knew a little bit. So for me, well, first of all, the first time I read my script was when I went on to the table reading. So when I got the part, I just started seeing everybody, how they were doing, how the feel of everybody. When I'm by myself, like I said, I try to pick and see what's added to, because sometimes you have a little piece of a previous dialogue. And so I kind of have an idea of what's going on there. And then I make a backstory and I try to build the character. And I like to record myself several times, because I can see when I'm too low or when it's too much. So that, and then I try to put myself also into the, like, I live the character. Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I live. Sometimes
you try to be a little method with it. You try to go a little method with it.
I don't have a method really. I kind of, because I haven't taken a few methods. Miss Nier, I have taken Stanislavski. So kind of sometimes do a little Stanislavski to be able to feel it. And sometimes I do just straight Nier. I just go as I'm reading. So it depends. I don't have anything just exclusive that I do, but I try to think what it would be if I was that person. So I try to become that person and feel. Sometimes I'm very mean. I can be mean and destroy you. I'm not like that, but you're in character, so I can be very explosive. So mostly I try to think of moments that why would it be if I were that person? How would that person act? Sometimes I Google, personalities or things like that to bring up a character up to life.
And I know, man, you had some questions on set, and hopefully I was helpful in some degree. But yeah, a lot of times on especially indie sets, everything's so chaotic. If you might only get a minute, maybe 30 seconds a minute with the director, but if you could ask them a question and just kind of pick their brain a little bit, did we have any conversations like that?
Actually, you came to me and say, okay, I want to know how you feel about this character, which has never happened before to me. I thought it was amazing that you came in personally and said, okay, how do you feel about this character? How would you like to do with this? If you want to add this, a little extra to here, you feel free to do it. And I think I mostly did expressions to it. But yeah, that was very nice of you, actually.
Well, yeah, I mean, and that's the thing with making a micro budget film. It's like a lot of these characters, it's my version on paper, then it's your version on, in front of the camera. Then again, it's my version in the editing. So ultimately, I am going to have the final say of how the character is portrayed, but the actors do get to have input into that process along the way. I'm an actor as well. I appreciate that. But even if I wasn't, I think it only adds to your film, adds to the creativeness of it, having other people apply their talents to that.
That's true.
Then you're on set. What was it like being on set?
Well, first of all, one of the things that you have to do when you're on before you get on set is to get to know the fellow actors, and I like to get to know also the crew members, because that makes you relax too. So I take my time to meet everybody, and I knew I wasn't going to interact with Regina, and she's amazing. Oh my God, we had a great chemistry, and during her performance, it was very good with her. We connected very well. So that scene, I think, is very powerful. She's amazing. Like I said, she's really good. If she made me feel every single bit of it, I was into it.
Well, a lot of her, so what you're talking about is like her big monologue scene. It's kind of like one of the big emotional
yes
moments in the film. She's really playing that towards you because she's looking at you, and you guys are kind of there's a lot of acting you're giving her without much dialogue at certain points. What was that like, her feeding off of your energy?
Well, she thanked me for it. She said that was great because I could with expressions of listening, of because that's one of the things you must do when you're an actor. You have to listen, and so listening to every single thing, I could just with expressions lead her to tell me more. Although she was going to, she knew it was a monologue, but the way she felt, she told me that it was good to work with me in front. So that was very good from her, to tell me, because It was my first film. So that was exciting. And then the rest of the girls, they were great too. They were great.
What was your when you saw that scene for the first time? How did you feel?
Oh my God, that was great. I mean, I really love and enjoy the movie. I have it already too. Um, and I really liked it. I mean, I liked the whole movie, but that scene, the second one where she opens up, I think it's one of my favorite of the entire movie, because she's just amazing. And when I saw it, and I saw the final version, I really liked it. I mean, I was happy with the results. I was really happy. I can feel the powerful.
Were you nervous before you watched it?
Actually, no. No, I was not. Sometimes I am, but not this time. I felt good. I felt confident about that. I felt good. It actually made me feel great about the whole thing. That was working with this, with you and the crew was amazing.
Do you have any memorable moments?
We were running out of time too, and I think one of the batteries went down, and now I have to switch it from the camera. And so that was one of the things that I remember too, because we were like, we have to go, we have to finish. This is rented until this time only. So, but everything, I mean, based on that, turned out really well. Very good.
Well, yeah, give a little backstory. So the room we recorded that in, I've mentioned several times that we shot some of this out of relationship with Houston Community College, and that room was one of the studio rooms, I believe, for photography, which I had reserved. And of course, you get there and there's some guy who doesn't want to leave, and I had to deal with this guy who didn't want to leave, and he was kind of making a stink, and then the AC was just blowing so loud. I know Regina had to ADR almost her entire monologue. And I remember I took you after, like the same day, right after we shot, we went to one of the sound booths at HCC and did your ADR, which was used in the film. And then so we're behind because this guy doesn't want to leave. Then there's audio issues. Then the battery pack runs out on the camera, and then probably other things happen. So you end up being just constantly rushed for time. And just you keeping cool and calm, and
Yeah,
I appreciated it, because you're always this far when you're the filmmaker. You're producing it. I was producing it along with my wife B, and it was like, oh, we're any moment this could go south. So, but your experience that day was a positive one.
totally. Like, everybody was super nice, crew members. The table reading was amazing too. The first time we met each other, that was great. I had a great experience there too.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. You touched on that a minute ago. What was it like first coming into the table read, meeting the actors? As actors, I think, as creatives, I think we always battle with insecurity, and then you can get around a room of other people and kind of feel like, that insecurity can pop up. Was that something that you felt, or did you immediately feel at ease? Or
I felt at ease. Yeah, it was great to hear everybody's experience. Also, some first timers for first credits on IMDb, first feature films. It felt nice. Everybody was very nice, I must say. Like I said, I enjoyed so much. The crew, amazing. The cast, amazing. So, and although I have not interacted with everybody after, except for that day, but it was great, that little time that we had.
Yeah. Now,
it was a fun read too.
Now you came to the premiere screening we had. What was that experience like for you?
Oh yeah, I was thinking just about that too. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. I had some friends that went to support me. That was amazing. And then in the end, we had this autograph signing time, which was awesome too. Everybody was excited. The questions and answers moment was fun too. And I had a question for you, by the way, speaking of that, because I left a question out of it, and I was like, oh, I should have asked you that. Why there's not a kissing scene in the movie with Regina?
You know, I still kind of go back and forth with that. Even when I'll watch it, I'll go to film festivals and I'll watch it. And I know what you mean. There's the moment, and this is why. So my goal with this film was to show two people with traumatic backgrounds doing the work, the hard work to get over their trauma, where they can get to a point where they're able to fall in love and connect. So it's a movie about people fighting to be able to fall in love, rather than a movie about people falling in love.
Okay.
So
Nice.
Ultimately, I think either way the film works and the message is presented,
Yes.
I get more questions over, oh, who won the fight? It's like, well, that's in the movie. It's like everything's there. Everything's there. Watch the movie. Watch it twice. Actually, you know, watch it 3 or 4 times on Amazon Prime. It'll help me out. But
that's fun. That's a good way to put it. Like, actually, I was like mixed feelings about not kissing there, but then I said that's actually cool. I thought I actually like that.
You know, and I don't think that's something I would do again, just because, you know, I made that point there.
I
But
like
you
that
know,
choice.
but I am a romantic. You know, and me and B will sit and we'll watch rom-coms, and I love a good love story. But yeah, for this film, I wanted, you know, I had a certain vision in mind. But this is the thing about being creative: the choice you make. So that was what, 2 years ago at this point, year and a half, 2 years ago. I wouldn't necessarily make it now, and the choice I make now, maybe I won't make 2 years from now. That's just being a creative. It's always, you always want to do something new, and you don't want to do the same thing you did before. When you watch a movie that's done by a filmmaker and they're just remaking the same movie over and over again, you know, I lose interest. But that's part of being creative, just the creative process. And as an actress, I'm sure you could probably agree, hey, the kind of role I've done, maybe I've done that role 2, 3 times. I want a new challenge now.
Yes, of course. You don't want to be like in a box.
Yeah. So let me ask you this now: what did you learn from the process of making Lion Killer?
The teamwork, working with a team. I think. Well, not that I'm not a team player, but I think it can be taken from the way we work there to somewhere else, because sometimes there's you're on set and there's somebody that has a bigger role and they are like isolated and they kind of look you if you're an extra, you know, like, but everybody is there. Everybody has been an extra, but you know, sometimes that I don't like that when somebody is kind of like on the side because I'm the star here, you know. But I think everybody being together, try to bring it out in a way. I don't know how we'll be able to do it. Sometimes it's hard, but if I have a main role, I think I will always bring everybody that has a smaller role with me, like to get to know each other.
Yeah.
But I really like the way that we communicated there. So that's one of the things that I really liked. And also, I think the message that there's something that you can do that not necessarily is just going. It's good if you have been a victim of any violence or any kind of depression, to go to a group. It helps you.
Yeah.
It helps you to.
Well, community was one of the big themes of Lion Killer. The fact that, you know, you could try to fight the fight and whether it's trauma or whatever by yourself, but having a community there to support you, it's much better. And really, if you look back, if you get to a certain age, you can kind of have perspective. You look back on your life. There's people that may have been there for a short period of time that had a huge impact on you, or the way you see the world, the way you behave, and that those people kind of come into our life, and it's very important to have those people.
Yeah, I think the fact that you show something else that can help you overcome domestic violence it is a great message too. I mean, in this case, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, which is awesome, can lift your confidence, because
Yeah.
a lot of the things that happen when you are a victim of domestic violence or depression is the lack of confidence. So I think um, confidence, this kind of activities help you boost your confidence. Any physical activity
Yeah.
like sports or fitness helps you boost your confidence, and that will help you be stronger mentally.
Yeah, and I
So
think you're
that's
absolutely
really,
right, because it's, you know, the character Noelle, it's not about her learning jujitsu so then she can then take on her abuser and beat him up. It's about
yeah,
her finding a community and a passion and an activity, a sport that grants her the confidence to see herself as more valued than she had in the past. And that in it of itself puts you at a lesser risk of domestic abuse and things of that nature. So yeah, just having that thing. And this, of course, my passion is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What'd you think of all the Jiu-Jitsu stuff?
well, I like that. I really like that. I like mixed martial arts too, you know. So I enjoy the fights, and I like that that art, that martial art is really good. And well, like that Carla said, and a true story, you know, I'm not gonna spoil it, but her story when she said it, the whole story was amazing thanks to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She actually saved her life.
Yeah.
So learning that too, it's pretty cool. I should learn that.
And I've
Yeah.
seen you a lot on TikTok lately. You've been doing like a lot of TikTok videos. Huh?
So I used to do Musically before, and I really enjoy it's, for me, helps me with practicing my acting skills too right now, because you know you have to bring the voice to life. Is that what it is? And you have to put your own flavor to it. So I have fun. I like to do mostly funny things, and I'm doing my own too. Sometimes there. I have a couple that I made. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I think a lot of people that are older than me, younger than me, both ages, because I say that as only for like teenagers, and probably was. But when you're an actor and you know it's fun. I mean, I just enjoy it. It's funny. And I think during this quarantine there was nothing else to do.
Well, let me ask you
So
this. What is your advice to actors trying to get into film? Since you went from coming to America with a dream to get into film, doing commercials, getting your first part in a feature, what would be your advice?
first of all, I would say preparation. You always have to take acting classes, read books, or whatever acting coaching. Um, you have to learn the craft, because even bigger actors, they keep learning and learning and taking coaching. They have coaches all the time. So I say, first of all, get prepared, because even if you go to an acting school, I recommend Dick Anderson. He will help you if he sees that you're a good actor. He will help you to get into a good agency, you know. So, or any other coaches too. They give a word. This Ricky Carter is another one. My friend Ricky Carter is also a coach. They if you're good, they will send you to an agency. So even if you're a natural, it's very important to take classes, because you don't know how it's different when you're acting, like for example TikTok. You're just in front of your camera. If you go to an acting class, you will have the perspective of the director doing the from the casting director. That's what we do when we are at Dix. He knows how casting directors work, so he will tell us exactly how we have to do it, and um, how to audition. And it's not only helping us for the audition, but also to craft, you know, to build um, our acting skills. So I would say acting classes is very, very important. Preparation is key. get good headshots, and then find an agency. But the agency will not get you unless you have acting classes. So you have to start with number one, period. And promote yourself as well. Yeah, I have to do that more, promoting myself. And lastly, if you are watching and we are in the it's still time for voting, vote for me, Maxime Cover Girl 2020.
Yes,
my link
vote.
my link to vote is on my Facebook and Instagram, and I think on Twitter I will post it as well. Same handle. Yo soy Rianne.
Any last words? Is that the last words you want to leave us with, or anything else?
Well, I want to thank you so much for this opportunity for this interview. I want to thank everybody for your support, and thank you, Derek, for giving me that role that actually helped me to get more opportunities as well. So I want to thank everybody for watching. That's all I want to say.
Well, thanks. I'll talk to you soon, Rianne.
Thank you so much. Have a great day and stay safe.